today we'll be walking from Dudley to this station right here, which is Old Hill railway station. There was a 3-mile line that took you from Bowler's Green, which we're visiting today, to this railway station. So we're going to be walking what's called the Bumble Hole Line, which sounds a bit pornographic to be honest, but anyway, we're going to be walking that line today, visiting some disused railway stations, so please come and join me as you walk the Bumble Hole Line. Hello there, Sim0nTrains here, or some people I call me SimOnTrains. Behind me is actually Dudley Zoo and Dudley Castle, because I'm in Dudley at the moment. Now, the original plan is to see Dudley's disused railway station, but unfortunately with the thing you can hear behind me, it's actually going under redevelopment at the moment, because this is part of the West Midlands Metro tram stop that's going to happen in 2023. But here, you used to catch a train from Wolverhampton, Walsall, Stourbridge Junction, Worcester and Old Hill, which is the place we're going to today, because we're going to be walking on the Bumble Hole Line. So I'm going to have a look around and do the history of Dudley railway station, and then we're going to move on to our next station, because there's nothing here than people digging it up, to be honest, so it's a waste of time, but it's nice to see this area being redevelopment, even though it's not. In the videos, we don't talk about the route that I'm taking, so we're now looking on Google Earth the route that I'm taking today, and this is roughly how the route was laid out. First of all, we're looking at the line between Dudley and Blowers Green. Now, I've got to apologise in this video because I keep calling it Bowler's Green, but the correct pronunciation is Blowers Green, so I do apologise about that. This line was part of the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway and opened on the 20th December 1852 between Stourbridge Junction and Dudley, but this section closed in 1962. Now, the reason I started Dudley is that services on the Bumble Hole Line were Dudley to Old Hill, so taking the path of the train service. After leaving Blowers Green, we move on to the Bumble Hole Line, 3-mile branch line opened the 1st of March 1878 and was double track throughout, which only had one station on the line called Windmill End Holds. In 1905, 3 more stations were added: Baptist End Halt. Again, apologies in the video because I kept calling it Baptist Halt, which was annoying. Darby End Halt and Old Hill High Street. These will explain in the video why these stations opened, but the whole line closed to passengers on the 15th of June 1964. We're now on the A4037 and it's going to be a busy road, so I do apologise about the traffic, but it can't be helped. But the reason I'm here is because I've actually just found down here, you can't see it through the fence here, but I'll zoom in a second now, is a railway tunnel that used to take you towards Walsall. Because here at Dudley railway station used to be where the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway joined the South Staffordshire line. But I'm going to go a bit further down to look at the station history and then move on. Dudley Station was opened by the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway on the 1st of May 1850, but the station was completed in 1860 when the South Staffordshire line arrived from Walsall and Lichfield. Dudley became somewhat of a terminus in 1962 when passenger services between Stourbridge Junction and Dudley ceased. The station closed on the 6th of July 1964 but saw Worcester to Wolverhampton expresses through till 1967. The station buildings were demolished in 1967 to make way for Dudley's Freightliner Terminal, one of the first of its kind in Britain, but the terminal closed in 1989 and the line closed in 1993. However, in 2023 there will be a new tram stop here for West Midlands Metro services from Wednesbury to Merry Hill Shopping Centre. So we're standing on this railway bridge here, looking down at Dudley railway station from this end. Now, the only thing that remains of Dudley station was the tunnel I just showed you down the bottom. This wall right behind me here, that's the only thing remains of Dudley railway station. We're going to move on now to our next disused railway station down the line, which is about, I think it's about 3/4 of a mile. Most of it's under tunnel anyway, which you can't see. We're going to visit Bowler's Green railway station to have a look there. Now if I look at this direction, on the railway bridge, just down here you can see Dudley South Tunnel just down there. But here is the site of Bowler's Green Disused Railway Station, which hopefully in the future could be a West Midlands Metro and tram stop here. Now Bowler's Green Station is actually the junction station when the Bumble Hole Line left the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway, which is just behind me here. But another thing about this disused railway station is the station building is actually just here. It's run down and disused, but it's still here. And I do apologise about the wind today, but it is quite windy. So I'm going to do the station history of Bowler's Green Station, and then we're going to carry on walking the Bumble Hole Line to get to our next destination, which is Baptist End. So we now look at the site of Bowler's Green Station. Before I go into the history, I just want to again to apologise on the mispronunciation of the station name. For some reason in the video I kept saying Bowler's Green, but it's actually pronounced Blowers Green. The station opened by the Great Western Railway on the 1st of March 1878, but was named Neverton. This was the site of the second station. 17 chains south of the second station lies the site of the first railway station opened by the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway, which opened on the 20th December 1852, but was resited at the junction from the Bumble Hole Line to Old Hill, which opened on the 1st of March 1878. Somewhere in 1878, the station was renamed to Dudley Southside in Neverton. 1st of August 1921, the station was renamed to its current name, Blowers Green. The station started to see declining passenger numbers in the 1950s due to motor vehicle and closed passengers on the 13th of July 1962. So Bowler's Green Station is actually just behind me here. But if I turn the camera this way, you can see the track bed heading towards Stourbridge Junction from here. But the junction for the Bumble Hole Line was I think just here. But you can't see the track bed where it branched off because the A459 or the A461, I don't know which one it is up here, is blocking half the track bed. But we are going to walk in this direction now to head to Baptist End. So I'm just off the off-beaten track for a second, but we are going to go that way in a second. I'm just at Glaze Brooks Memorial Park, and it's a lovely park indeed here. Now, from the 29th of March, you can meet up with 6 people. So, do you want to see the other 5 carols? Because there's going to be a lot of carols coming up in a second. They're just over in that direction. There's a lot of carols around here today, isn't there? And also at Glazebrook Memorial Park, look at all these daffodils here. I hope they're daffodils. If they're not daffodils, please, you can feel free to comment down below and correct me, but I'm hoping these are daffodils. But like I said, this park is absolutely brilliant indeed. Anyway, you met the clones, so we're going to go to Baptist End now. Now on a small bridge down the Bumble Hole Line actually went from this direction under this bridge here, and it went in this direction over here, but you can't really see much of the track yet. So this is our first bridge to the Bumble Hole Line, but we're going to carry on a little further to get to our next destination. So I'm not far from Baptist End now, but the track bed for the Bumble Hole Line is actually right next to me, but unfortunately there's this building right on it now. I think it's like a steel terminal here. I did see some like steel coils as I walked past, but I'm not 100% sure what's in that. But hopefully soon we actually go walk on the track bed for a little bit, because I think only like 10-20% of the track bed does remain. It's not much on a 3-mile branch, but there is a bit of track bed we can walk on, and Baptist End won't be too far away in a second. But we've just got to carry on walking down this path here to take us to it. So we just walked down this little path here. Now it looks like I'm in like an old forest area, but right behind me now, if we could have a look, this was roughly where the site of Baptist End Halt was. Now the reason they built this halt was in 1905 was a counter threat to the omnibuses, because the rise of the bus was happening, and the Great Western Railway actually built a lot of halts to try and counter-threat the threat of the bus taking their passengers. But it was just right here. This is part of the original track bed of the Bumble Hole Line. So I'm going to do a quick history here, and I'm going to move on to Windmill End Halt, which was the intermediate station between Old Hill, which is in that direction, and Bowler's Green, which we've just been to in that direction. Now this is a bit of history of Baptist End Halt. For some reason in the video I don't know why I called it Baptist Halt. This is one of 3 halts which was opened by the Great Western Railway on the 21st of August 1905 as a counter threat to the omnibus. The station closed on the 15th of June 1964. So Baptist End Halt is actually just right behind me there. Now there did used to be a bridge here that took the line over roughly in that direction there, but the bridge is not here anymore. So we're going to carry on now to find Windmill End Halt. So just roughly in this housing estate now, Baptist End Halt is actually down there that direction. But this is the trap bed still that we're walking on. And it takes us to more housing estate, which is just down there. But we're on the way now to get to Windmill End Halt station. You're going to love this location. The railway line actually came down here. It actually went through someone's house, which is now built on. But right up ahead of me I found something very interesting indeed. And if I turn around here, there's a railway tunnel here which goes over St. Peter's Road. Now I don't know what the name of this tunnel is, but it does look interesting to find indeed. So we're going to go through it quickly, then through back and see what we can find on the other side of this tunnel. Definitely a railway tunnel. You can just make out the tunnel just at the top there, so it looks like they've modified it slightly, but you definitely see the tunnel just up there, well, the tunnel portal. But this is a brilliant find, to be honest, and I think we're still on the trap bed because Windmill End Halt is in that direction over there. I might just walk it, see how far I can get on it. I honestly did not believe that. This is the track bed of the Windmill End branch, or the Bumble Hole Line. I didn't thought I'd be walking this part of the branch line because I had a look at Google Maps, and yes, Google Maps do let you down, which is true, but they didn't tell you anything about this bit here. I did not know this existed till I walked through, under that tunnel and walked here. But we are walking on the track bed now, and I think we're at some open fields in a second. So yes, it's open fields here. So I don't know what's around here, but we're going to take a look here. Now I think the line actually went off in that direction. I'm not too sure, or that direction. I'm not too sure, but let's have a look around this area quick. So just off the off-beaten track for a second, because I want to know what that steel-like structure is there. I know you can just see it because the sun's actually in my eyes and I can't see the screen, to be honest, but I want to know what that structure is there because that looks interesting indeed. And there's like a lot dotted around here as well. So a bit of the Bumble Hole Line is actually just down here, and I think it just came through here, right behind me now. But it went over the Dudley Canal, which is just right ahead now, so we're going to be walking to the canal right now. Now this is a very interesting find on this walk. This is Cobb's Edging House, and this is a Grade 2 listed building. I'll go into some detail in a second, but that is a lovely monument indeed to look at. So I'm just going to read a bit off my phone, but this is Cobb's Edging House, properly known as Windmill End Pumping Station. in Rowley Regis, West Midlands in England. This is a scheduled ancient monument and a Grade 2 listed building built around 1831 to house a stationary steam pump to use to pump water, firstly from Windmill End Colliery and later other mines in the area. Tell you what, this is a lovely beautiful area on the Dudley Canal, but the railway actually just crossed right behind me here. Now you just see here there's actually some bricks here. That used to be a bridge, a railway bridge, and it used to cross over the canal here, and just here now, just there's some more bricks where I'm pointing at, and that's where the other end of the bridge was. So the bridge was just right here, but then it crossed the canal again, which is a bit further down to get to Windmill End Holds, which is just where we're heading to now, which is not far away to be honest. Railway line went over the canal which is behind us now, but it went over this canal here as well, and right behind me now is Windmill End Holds station. This is the disused station of Windmill End Holds right here. It was right next to the Dudley Canal, so it must have been a beautiful request stop here. Windmill End Halt was the only intermediate station on the Bumble Hole Line until the other three halts opened in 1905. This halt, however, was opened by the Great Western Railway on the 1st of March 1878. The station closed on the 15th of June 1964. As much as I would love to stay here all day and have a look at this Dudley Canal, unfortunately I've still got 2 halts to visit and to get to Old Hill, which will leave the Dudley Canal just right here. So we're going to have a look for Darby End Halt now. I don't think there's nothing left, but we might just be able to see it. I'm heading that direction now, so we're going to leave the canal to head towards Old Hill railway station and visit these 2 halts that we got left. So I'll just walk down that path there, and this takes us to here. Now this is roughly where Darby End Halt was. And again, Darby End Halt was opened in 1905 as a counter threat for the omnibuses, with an additional stop so they could try and get more passengers. So we're going to do the quick history of Darby End Halt here. They're going to move on to Old Hill High Street Station. We'll now look at the site of Darby End Halt. This halt is the second out of 3 halts which opened on the 21st of August 1905 by the Great Western Railway as a counter threat to the omnibus. The station closed on the 15th of June 1964. Now on Garrett's Way. This is the A4 100, just right behind me here. But the reason I'm here is because the railway line is just here. Don't know what that was there, but the railway line just crossed over here. You can see remembrance of a bridge there. And Old Hill High Street Station is just where this house is right here. That's the site of our last halt that we're getting. So it is lovely to see the remains of a railway bridge here. But we're going to do a bit of history of Old Hill High Street Station. Then we're going to move on to our last station, which is an active railway station on the national network, Old Hill Station. Old Hill High Street, this was the 3rd halt which opened on the 21st of August 1905 by the Great Western Railway, on the same day as Baptist End Halt and Darby End Halt opened. This station was also a counter threat to the omnibus. The station closed to passengers on the 15th June 1964. We're not far from the end of the line that we're visiting today, which is Old Hill Railway Station, just up that road there. But the reason I've stopped here is because there's another bridge here. Now this bridge was the Bumble Hole Line where he curved into Old Hill railway station. So that's an interesting find to find here, because this is where the branch started from the Snow Hill lines. But anyway, Old Hill station's next. I'm now at Old Hill railway station. This is the end of the walk, but it's not the end of the vlog yet, because I've still got to do the history of Old Hill station and then analyse today's walk. But that direction takes towards Smethwick Galton Bridge and Birmingham Snow Hill. And behind me, which we've just seen now, this takes on to Stourbridge Junction, Kidderminster and Worcester. And the Windmill End branch, or the Bumble Hole Line, just diverted off roughly here to take on to the branch. Now unfortunately, between Darby, End Halt and here, we couldn't walk much of the line, but we did walk a bit of the line between Windmill End Halt and towards Baptist End Halt, which was a quite good walk indeed, to be honest. Now I'm going to do the history of this station now quickly, and then we're going to talk about today's route. Old Hill Station was opened on the 1st of January 1866 by the Stourbridge Railway. The station once had a timber station building, but was badly damaged by fire on the 13th of February 1967. A new station building was constructed and opened on the 22nd of May 1968. Also to add in at Old Hill, this was the start of another disused line which ran from Old Hill to Longbridge by the Hales Owen line, which was opened on the same day as the Bumble Hole Line. First of all, I'm going to show you how to support this camcorder, because it is actually quite funny indeed. Smile! Right. Secondly, let's talk about today's route, because it has really been an interesting route indeed. I started off at Dudley this morning, but unfortunately at Dudley they're overhauling the site, like getting it ready for the West Midlands Metro tram stop and building on it, to be honest. So it was disappointing to see, but at least we got to Dudley railway station. There also was a freight terminal as well. Then we walked into Bowler's Green, which the station building was still there to take onto the platform roughly, but there's not much of it left apart from Dudley South Tunnel. Then we visited the halts. We visited Baptist End Halt, which there was nothing left, to be honest. We visited Windmill End Halt, which was a nice area indeed along the Dudley Canal. Baptist Halt to Windmill End Holds, I would recommend walking, because that was a lovely walk indeed. And then Windmill End, we went to Darby End Halt, which was a lovely walk indeed as well. That was also a good walk, but the two halts are not that long, to be honest. They're actually quite close together. Then we went to Old Hill High Street Halt, which there was nothing left because the house is now on it, and we ended up at Old Hill Railway Station, and it has really been a good walk indeed. It was better than last week's walk when we were walking on country roads. There was no country road today. So this is hopefully the last walking journey, because next week I'm planning to do a SimOnTrains railway journey. So hopefully you can join me for that. So if you want to join me for railway journeys again, because we're going to kick them off in April, feel free to give this a like, feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel at SimOnTrains, and feel free to leave a comment down below, because I'm looking forward to your comments. I have been SimOnTrains or SimOnTrains. I'm about to leave Old Hill Station now to head back towards Birmingham. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you soon.